live stream or anything. This is just me and you until I post it. But just gonna go through the questions and stuff, and just have a chill ass time. I mean, this is the first time I've talked to you since I was down there, like face to face or even on the phone, or anything like that. It was such a crazy time coming down there early spring and seeing everybody, meeting you for the first time, and
Hmm.
you were such a kind, amazing gentleman. So nice to meet you. How have things changed since then? How are things now that spring football is over? How do you think it all went?
I think it went really well. I think we definitely, chugged along, a road. I think we took some big steps, and are getting closer to that goal. We get a couple of days off, and then, we start our summer training. So it's going to be good.
Well, and you know, you had 2 touchdowns, 56 yards, and you caught passes from, I think, every quarterback except for Walker, right?
I think so, yeah.
And just lit up the game. I mean, what feelings did you have from that game? You know, overriding overall, what was the vibe?
Yeah, no, it felt good, especially battling with this back injury I had. It felt good finally being able to get out there, go full speed in like a game like situation. It was definitely a lot of fun to go full speed like it was a game, and just doing what we do.
Speaking of which, the back injury now you gotta feel good now getting a break. You know,
Hmm.
how are you feeling with that? Are you okay?
Yeah, no, it feels good. I'm gonna start training next week again, so I'm gonna let it sit for a couple of days, rest, and then get back to it.
Hell yeah. Any cool plans you have for the break with the guys?
Might go to the beach for a couple of days, but that's about it.
Go, you talking Destin?
Yeah.
Nice, nice. Well, I mean, I kind of wanted to go back into a time machine here. When you and I first started talking, you weren't an LSU Tiger. You weren't even committed. LSU just crazily hadn't offered you yet, and you were committed to Vanderbilt. Do you ever think about that now and
No,
how wild it's been?
oh yeah, definitely a wild journey, crazy journey, but I don't really think like much about it. I kind of keep my eyes forward and set on the goals that are in front of us.
Absolutely, absolutely, as you should. It's just so crazy to me how everything has changed. I remember
Yeah,
watching the South Carolina LSU game and just trying to recruit you almost, just bothering you with these texts. It's just funny how things have changed. You firmly LSU Tiger, one of the most popular players among the fan base. But I wanted to get into your STM days, your St. Thomas More days, because you did some special things there that I think have a lot of relevance to the type of player you are now. At St. Thomas More, you worked under Coach Lance Struther, wide receivers coach Lance Struther, who continues to just do amazing work with each year's receiving core. How much of an impact do you feel Coach Struther had on your development?
a huge impact. Coach Lance was one of the best coaches that I've ever been around. He taught me, a lot, almost everything I know about the wide receiver game. The little nuances of it, all that different jazz. He did an awesome job. He develops players really, really well from freshman to senior year. Doesn't matter who you are, what size you have, speed, ability. It doesn't matter. He's going to develop you. I think he's one of the best around, and I was super grateful that me and Coach Lance cross paths. So love Coach Lance and definitely happy for him.
And his son looks like another good receiver too, Landon Struther.
Hmm.
Just like you, he played for the Bootleggers 7-on-7 team. And of course, it's become
Beast.
Louisiana football legend, Jack, that you and Walker Howard forged an incredibly tight bond at STM. But you and Caleb Holstein before put up some crazy numbers, and you won titles with both quarterbacks. What was it about your receiving core, Coach Struther's receiving core, that made you guys unstoppable with two different quarterbacks back to back?
our depth, everybody that lined up was a beast. Like you couldn't double team anybody, or then the other two, three wide receivers would be open. So I mean, like, and our whole system, we had a really good scheme and stuff like that. So I mean, it was just really hard. And how much we threw the ball for a high school team, I think it was hard for some teams to like keep up with.
Oh god, yeah. You can just see the teams just kind of sucking for air on a lot of those. You guys are just
Yeah.
burning them, just quick passing. And I mean, the receivers even now. I mean, it was crazy how much they're throwing the ball STM the last few years. And
Mm-hmm.
as a football fan, I love watching it, I gotta say. But I mean, we loved watching what you did. We have to talk about the play, Jack. The play. I don't know if you know exactly what I'm talking about, but the play where you jumped over the guy.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
What happened on that play, and what made you decide to just go for it, man?
That was just instinct. It just happened. I wasn't thinking. It just happened. To be honest.
It's unbelievable. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, what we're talking about, if you look up Jack Bech, just Google image, you'll find that picture very quickly where he's just jumping over. And look up any article I've ever written about Jack. If it discusses his St. Thomas More days, the photo is always included. I just always have to spread that around. And then Jack, your playoff record at STM, consecutive 200-yard games as a senior in the semis and the title game. You and Walker Howard just broke Louisiana high school records left and right. You had over 400 combined yards from back-to-back title games. Can you take us through that crazy year in 2020 with Walker and some of your favorite moments?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, especially to be able to like win on top. Um, not lose a game. We knew like every time we stepped on the field that we were gonna win. We just had so many people around the ball, offense, defense, that were such good quality players, great players. That like everybody just knew that whenever we stepped on the field, like nobody was gonna be able to play with us or beat us. And like my favorite moments were just like I guess yeah, just winning the state championship, when winning some big critical games, beating Catholic High, definitely. That's one. But yeah, just being with all my boys and teammates that I've been growing up with, and then winning the state championship.
I mean, just there's so many unforgettable images like the ear against Catholic High after that game where you just went just absolute Mel Gibson on their asses out there. I mean, this past year was big for you too, Jack. This first year. I mean, but there was some adversity too your freshman season at LSU. But what will you remember most about this last season at LSU? This first
Just
year.
learning how to and like coping with adversity. I think going through adversity makes everybody grow. And I think it's good for people. And I think we faced a lot of it last year. So I think that definitely strengthened our team for this year. So I think we're all going to be really excited and ready to win a bunch of games this year.
One of my favorite games. I mean, you were unbelievable against Auburn in some plays, just going against the whole team where they're trying to take you down. Same thing against Alabama. I just had it on the screen where the whole team is trying to get you down. I mean, there's some plays where you were playing above your status as a freshman. What is it in you, ingrained in you, that makes you do that?
And just that dog in me. I think a lot of the kids from Louisiana have it in them. It's just, like we're going to go get it and do whatever it takes to succeed. Um, you know, and that's just what it is with us and in us. It's just that dog in us.
I love it. I mean, that Alabama game, Jack, you're a freshman. You guys almost win that game. You score a touchdown in Tuscaloosa. What was your feeling like after that game, and even up to today when you think back about that game?
Cool, but that we should have won. So I mean, definitely left some plays on the field, but that we really should have won that game. So that's really I just kind of think about how we should have won.
I knew you were going to say that because I know you cannot wait to play them again this fall, and
Hmm.
that's why you had to probably be excited when LSU hired Brian Kelly. I would assume. What did you first think when you heard that news?
No, I love Coach Kelly. I thought it was awesome. I thought it was a great hire. And then once he got here, the stuff he started implementing has really helped our team grow, build relationship, build strength. and a lot of great qualities help us think right, accountability, different things like that, grit. So I think we're all headed in the right direction. I love Coach Kelly. I'm really stoked and excited that it was, yeah, that he got the job, and I'm really excited for this season.
Well, and Kelly has a long history with you of being interested in your development as a player. He invited you and Walker Howard, I believe, an official visit, right, to South Bend?
Nah, nah. That was just a little visit we took up there.
Oh, okay. And he had an early well, he still had an early appreciation for your talent that I had heard. And how has that relationship with Coach Kelly evolved from then compared to now?
Man, it's awesome. I have a lot of trust in Coach Kelly, and I think he has a lot of trust in me. We can just talk about different things related to football or not. It doesn't really matter. It's deeper than that. Like I said, I love Coach Kelly and the staff he brought. Yeah, and he's just done a lot of really good things already for us that we can tell. So, we can already tell that he cares and loves us all. So we all really love and appreciate Coach Kelly. So we're all, like I said, really excited for this season.
I'm excited too because he's really surprised me, Jack. I mean, when I asked Coach that question during that press conference about you, he spoke glowingly. He spoke in ways that you just did not expect. I think he even joked about you looking like a typical reporter and
Hmm.
just was very off the wall about it. But he during that whole speech he had, he said you have the mindset of a senior and that you have a big game mentality. And what do you think players like Will Campbell see, your example, Walker Howard seeing your example, even Malik seeing your example? Do you think those guys want to follow in your footsteps? Do you think they see your example?
Um, I don't think they want to follow my footsteps. Everybody's here to kind of create their own path. But I definitely think like we go as one goes. So and like we all go as the whole team goes. So I think like whenever like for example, I see Malik doing something, me and Malik are our biggest fans, like our biggest supporters. That's my brother. We love each other. But like every time if you go watch film, like he does something good, I'm the first one to him. Or if I do something good, he's the first one to me. So it's always like pushing each other to be the best we can and to limits that we don't think that we can surpass, but we do surpass them. And I think Walker and Will are going to see that and then push each other. Also being pushed by us and different things like that. So I think everybody's here to create their own path, but it definitely helps to have people like that around to push you.
That's beautiful because I mean every one of these players are so interesting. But just like you said, your first catch against UCLA, you know who I see the most going crazy on the sidelines? Garrett Nussmeier, who's not even playing. He's going crazy. He's like absolutely screaming his larynx out for your first ever catch. That's what I think is very special about this group. You guys are all tight with each other. All the Lafayette guys, Malik, Sage, Walker, of course. But then you got Will, Mason Smith. You guys are all tight with each other. But how are some of these new guys? I know Kyron Lacey knows you, but how's it been? Has it been an easy transition getting to know some of the other new transfers?
Yeah, it's been a really easy transition because everybody's like a good quality person, but also a great football player, obviously. It's all the standard that we're meeting over here at LSU that Coach Kelly has created. So it's really been an easy process of really meeting and getting to know everybody because everybody's like great people, you know.
Absolutely, and this receiver group, is the strength of this team, I believe. And you guys, you built that up with a new transfer coming in with Kyron Lacey coming in, and you guys were already deep. And it seemed pretty seamless because, like you said, you guys already know Kyron. He's a quality person coming in as well. But how do you feel about that LSU receiver room now?
Yeah, I love it. Headed by Coach Hank. Yeah, I think we're gonna do some special things this year. And like I was talking about earlier about pushing each other, everybody's always fighting for a spot, so everybody's consistently pushing each other to go hard, to go to limits. Like I said, that they don't think they can surpass, but you got to do it in order to be great, and that's what Coach Hank has instilled in us. Like that dog, like I was talking about earlier, like everybody wants to be on that field playing, doing things. So like everybody's just pushing each other hard. So it's been awesome.
What are the main differences you feel? with Cortez Hankton and Mickey Joseph. You know, you've been coached under both of those guys as wide receiver coaches. Well, actually, no. I take that back because you were in the tight ends room most of the year last year.
Right, right.
I got to
I
take
didn't
that
really
back.
get Coach Mickey that much.
Yeah, that's true. I got to take that question back because yeah, that even still stuns some people. It even still stuns me that you were never practicing with the receivers. But yeah, how did transition into that? How does it feel to be going back to finally being in your actual position after being a tight end randomly for a year?
Yeah, no, I felt it feels really good to be back in the receiver room now. Really get to focus on my craft and the nuances of the game at the receiver, and focus like solely on that, and I don't really have to worry about all the tight end stuff, all like the run game and the core, different things like that. I really just get to focus on the pass game, the blocking game from outside, and really sharpen my game from out there. So it's been awesome, especially with Coach Hank.
Which wide receivers, you see them every day. Which wide receivers are people that no one's talking about? But what is a guy that you think is going to really, really pop this year that no one's really looking at?
I think anybody in the room has a chance to do it. To be honest, like I think anybody could do it.
Wow, top to bottom, anybody, even Jack Rilling, walk on, anybody, Noah
Yeah,
Nash.
really anybody could do it. I feel like everybody's that good.
Wow. Well, and you see what Coach Hankton's done with you guys, transforming you guys with you know Jake Flint there in the strength and conditioning room, in the weight room as well. Has Jake Flint transformed this roster, you think, physically?
Yeah, definitely. Our bodies look way different than when they first got here. We have like before and after pictures, and it's really incredible what like how our bodies have already transformed in like a couple months.
It seems like the wide receiver room specifically has gotten thicker. I mean, even Kayshawn Booty looks, bigger in his upper body too. Can you describe your chemistry with Kayshawn? I mean, what can you two offer each other within this offense this season?
Yeah, it's gonna be a thing where people know how good Kayshawn is, so they're gonna use 2 or 3 people to cover him, which is just gonna open up room for everybody else to be able to eat. But then the second that they take away from Kayshawn, they put only one on him. We're gonna feed him the ball, and he's gonna kill. So I mean, it's like I've been saying, it's just gonna be a lot of fun.
I know it's only just April. But are you seeing a better offense from Mike Denbrock in comparison
Yeah,
to what we ran last year?
definitely.
You didn't even practice with the receivers last year, of course, but and set up purely as a tight end. But what was the offensive game plan, last season in comparison to now, including you? Do you feel like this year has more? It's more bent towards your development in a positive way.
Yeah, I think it's bent towards like everybody's development. Really, I feel like this offense is meant for everybody to succeed. And it's meant to give the ball to the playmaker in space and go let us make plays because that's what we do best. So this will be good.
What was the offensive game plan during the spring game? Did it like differ a lot from what you guys been installing, or was it
Yeah,
kind of a
yeah.
vanilla
It
version?
was pretty vanilla. Like we didn't really show much on offense or defense at all.
That's what it felt, but it still was very intriguing and very rhythmic at the same time. Um, what did you like? What most from what you saw from the quarterbacks during the spring game?
Yeah, everybody's accurate. Everybody has a good arm. Everybody can make plays with their feet. I can't wait to see who gets the starting job whenever we're playing in New Orleans against Florida State. I can't wait to see who steps on that field first to lead our offense because it could really be anybody.
How much do you think having a mobile quarterback will be key in this offense?
Yeah, it just depends how our offense wants to be run. If it wants to be with a playmaker on his feet, or if it wants to be a pocket passer, that's what I'm saying. It really could be any of the 4 QBs taking the job. So I'm excited to see who gets it.
Well, I mean, you connected well with every one of them, and it was very interesting to see. And Daniels was throwing you a touchdown. Miles was hitting you over the middle. Sadly, you weren't able to hook up with Walker on the day, but still, they got you in there for a good amount of playing time than I more than I expected. But transition to Coach Kelly. Everyone's talked about how Kelly has come in and changed LSU in just a few months, but how has Brian Kelly been changed by LSU?
Yeah, no, I think that, like I said, just a lot of trust has been built already between us and him, which is awesome, which is what you really need in order to have a championship team. I think we've definitely taught him a lot of stuff, but yeah, no, it's been awesome with Coach Kelly, being around.
You know Nurse Court, big fan of yours, huge fan. She had a question for you as well. What do you think about the current state of the locker room with the entire revamp of the coaching staff as opposed to this time last year?
I wasn't here this time last year.
Oh yeah, because you came in June. That's true. That's
Mhm.
true. Well, I guess her question would be in comparison to the coach Ed Orgeron locker room that you were a part of, as opposed to this Kelly locker room. What's the differences there?
Just the morale is a lot higher. Just everybody wants to win, knows we can win, and everybody's been training really hard, going really hard, studying really hard, to make sure that we all make that a reality.
For what you've seen, I mean, we've been talking so much about the offense, but are the 2022 Tigers going to be a good defensive team? We've kind
Really,
of struggled,
really good.
really. So I mean, a lot of the same players returning, but a lot of new blood, transfer wise. You've been practicing against them. You feel like they're really going to be that good?
Yeah, they're gonna be really good.
They look a lot more stout, a lot more physical, a lot more intense. What specifically makes you feel like they're going to be turning it on?
Like what you just said, and I think that they also have a really good scheme. I just think that they've all just like you said, real physical, real smart, know the game real well. We have a lot of veterans on that side of the ball, so it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm excited to watch them this year, definitely.
Who's standing out for you?
Man, a bunch of people, but I've been saying Greg Penn. I think is gonna have a big year.
Greg Penn. Yeah, I mean, just shooting through the gaps and making plays. That dude's nuts. I mean, of all these new assistants who've been hired, there's been a lot of come in. I think there's only like 3 were retained from the last staff. Which one of these new assistant coaches has come in and kind of changed how you view the game?
There's been a couple of them. There's really been really all of them help a lot in developing all our games. So I mean, it's hard to pick point just one.
Yeah, just a few more questions here for you, my man. You met Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and a lot of LSU legends this past weekend. How did that all go down? How was that set up?
It was awesome. It was just awesome. Really cool meeting players like that, and hopefully being able to step into their shoes this season. To have that in front of you, it's there for the taking. Is just a really cool feeling, and you just got to work hard to attain it. So just really cool.
What advice did they pass on to you, if any?
Yeah, nah, just always work hard, stay humble. Keep your eyes on the prize.
You know, another LSU legend watching Stingley, your former teammate from last year, taken third overall last night. Yet another first round pick for LSU. That's 4 straight drafts with at least one top 5 pick. As an LSU Tiger, you gotta like your odds in the future here.
Yeah, hopefully so. That's always been the goal, the dream of mine since I was a baby. Always said I was going to play in the NFL. So, like I said, we're off to a good start, but this season has to be even better, and my third season has to be even better than this one coming up. So, I mean, hard work is really what it takes. So, this summer and this off season, really just gonna have to go really hard and make all good decisions on and off the field, and go all in.
I the second NIL became legal, I was like, let's try and sign Jack Bech to a NIL deal. And we signed you to the tiniest NIL deal of all time, if you can even call it that. Um, since that time, your profile has exploded, especially after your freshman year. During it, what do you feel makes you such a marketable athlete?
Oh, I don't know. I don't get into that much, but I guess just if opportunities, come, then we'll see and we'll evaluate them and we'll see what happens with them.
you haven't just been, getting your wallet, fattened up or anything. You've been doing a lot for the local community and charities. Which ones are you most involved with, and how did that all get set up?
The Dreams Come True Foundation and my uncle and some other people helped me get started with them. I just think it's really cool to be able to give back to kids, with dreams that can't like be able to do them because of different setbacks they have of natural reasoning. So I mean, I just think it's always cool to be able to give a kid a dream that they have, because whenever you think about it, whenever you accomplish or get to a dream that you've had, the feeling you have is surreal. So I mean, just giving that feeling to another kid is just awesome.
And I've seen you do so much of that everywhere. If anybody, there's his Twitter handle right there. Also, I think it's an identical or close Twitter, handle for Instagram. You got to follow Jack for all of that. It's incredible. Some of the photos, and he does a lot in the local community. He's always doing these autograph signings. Where can they find you for those autograph signings, Jack?
This weekend on the 7th, we're doing one at the basketball arena at LSU, across from the football stadium. The team,
Nice. Is that you and Malik,
yeah,
right?
me and Malik.
Before it was you and Mason, now it's you and
Hmm.
Malik. This is epic. Everybody's getting involved here. There's an aura about you, Jack, and it's grown ever since you arrived at LSU. Even before, if the people were paying attention, but so many are rooting for you. So many are wanting to talk to you. Everyone from the media, Matt Mascana, Jordy Collada, the off the bench crew. You just did that Mikey Matuk show. My man Carter, the Power. Anyone and everyone, and here we are too. Has it been a bit exhausting being so in demand?
No, because I hope hopefully it gets worse, because that just means you're doing better on the field. So I mean, it is what it is. It's what you kind of signed up for. So it's all good.
I mean, even Zion's probably demanding you the most. That amazing dog of yours, Zion. How's he doing?
He's doing well. He's just hanging out right now, just fed him and stuff like that. He's just playing in the backyard. So I'm gonna go mess with him whenever we get off this call.
Absolutely. Well, 5 years from now, where are you at? What are you doing, Jack? If it were up to you.
Playing in the NFL, breaking records, hopefully.
Well, let me tell you, my man, it is up to you, and I think the way you're heading, it's all right there for you. Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time. I know you're very much in demand, and Jack, cannot wait to talk to you again. You have a wonderful rest of your day, my man. Tell Zion I say what's up. All
Sounds good. Thank you so much. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon.
right. Peace,
Later.
Jack. That was Jack Bech, everybody. That was Jack Bech. What a player. What a player. Um, he's someone who had such an incredible first season, a historic St. Thomas More campaign as a senior, as a junior. Um, you've seen the numbers, you've seen all the statistics, you've seen the performances, hopefully with your own two eyes. Um, let's hope Jack has an incredible sophomore year coming up, and I think all intents and purposes, there's really no chance that he won't. I mean, you give this guy the ball, and good things happen. When Jack Bech is on the field, good things happen. So LSU are very lucky to have such a player like Jack Bech, I believe, and he's a very humble, very well-spoken young man, and I could not be more appreciative of the time he gave us. Very generous of his time there. Yeah, everybody, thank you so much for watching this telecast, and hope you have a good rest of your day. Have an awesome weekend. Take it easy.